Okay, what's up, y'all? I'm going to teach you Dad's John Lennon Song. It's in standard tuning, so the notes will go E, A, D, G, B, E. That's your tuning. Okay, I'm just going to dive right in. So, Dad basically has a progression that he does, and then he just repeats that 3 times over. So I'm just going to teach you the progression right the way through, and then once you've got that progression all the way down, you could just play it 3 times over, and that's pretty much the whole song. And he does something a little special for the outro, but other than that, it's just repeated. Okay, so to start it, we use a little thing here called double stops, or sometimes they're called inverted 5s. But basically what that is you are going to play some notes on just 2 of the strings. Just the middle 2 strings, these 2 right here. So that would be your D string and your G string. Plenty of jokes to come. So just those 2. Don't get fooled by Dad's hand moving all over the place. He's not hitting every string. He's just hitting these 2. And the others are either muted by his other hands, or he's just not hitting them. He's just coming in real delicate. So don't worry about that. You don't have to strum like he does. You can just hit them. So it starts on these two strings, so D and G, and you're on the 5th fret, and you hit that once, and then you move that same idea up to 7, right? So the 7th fret, you're pressing down the D and the G string, and you play that 3 times. Then you go back down to 5 on those 2 strings and play that 3 times. Back up to 7. Back to 5. So that gives you the dun 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 dun. Right? I led you astray there a little bit. At the very end, he actually plays an open. And then you do the same thing from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. Then open again. And then he plays that again. So it looks like there's a lot going on. There really isn't. All I'm doing is pressing down these 2 and these 2. Open. Then 3. 5, 3, 5. Open. Whoops. So that's how you do it. That's sort of what I would call the hook. Okay. That's the whole hook top section. Just those 3s and 5s and 7 with the open note in there every now and again. You'll probably know the rhythm, you'll probably know the sound as soon as you start playing with these notes. The next part that it goes into is you take your pointer finger and you bar across the 2nd fret of the G string, the B string, and the E string, right? So you bar across like this, and he only hits those 3 strings. He doesn't hit any of the lower ones. They don't fit with this chord. So with this one, he just kind of hits it down and up. Again, only those 3 strings, and he goes like down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, like this. You don't necessarily have to do that. Again, Dad's picking, he didn't really fully understand it. There was a lot of like feel. I asked him about his picking one time, and he thought he was hitting more strings than he was. So if you don't, picking like that can be a little difficult if you're new. If you don't have that technique down, you can just down pick it. You don't even need to do all of the, don't need to do that. You can though. It's guitar, you can do what you want. But you can also just hit it. Okay, then we transition into a E minor chord. right? So E minor is all open notes, so everything should ring out, open strings, except on the 2nd fret of the D string and A string, you're gonna place your fingers down. So if I hit every note by itself, okay, that's the E chord, E minor. So he'll go from here to the E minor, then he does it again. Okay, not too difficult. I'm gonna take it straight from the top. Here we go. Open. Open. You can use whatever finger you want. Okay, now we move into the next section. Dad always told me that, you know, this next section starts on the E minor, which is where we just ended, right? So how do you get across to the audience that this is a new part of the song? How do you make their ear follow along like that? Well, what he did is he told me to he does what's called, he accentuates that note, you know, when the beat hits. But he always just called it, giving it a big boom. So the previous one may go like this. It does not include a sneeze. But he booms. Here it comes. Here comes a boom. Okay, I'll teach you all that. No worries. Just let you know where it fits into the song. So remember, when you start this section, boom, da 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 da, boom, da 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 da, boom. He wants you to, you're playing guitar and singing. You don't have a drummer with you, so you have to be the drummer by smacking the shit out of those strings and making it sound percussive. Okay, so this next section starts on that big boom E minor, and then it moves up to this bar chord. Bar chords are pretty difficult. So a bar chord is a chord where one finger bars across every string and holds them down. So every string is held down at 2. Okay? And then after I do that, I add in my ring finger on fret 4 of the A string right here. And then I take my pinky finger and place it on fret 4 of the D string. Just gotta flick everybody off. And then my middle finger will go on fret 3 of the B string. And then the 2 highest strings are still barred by my finger. And so that F bar chord sounds like this. And Dad will do the thing with his picking where he hits the bottom and then hits the top a little bit. So it hits the heavier strings and then hits the higher strings, right? So this is kind of a pretty tricky chord to hit. It's difficult to get the finger strength to do this. It's kind of a more intermediate or advanced guitar technique. So you can cheat this by just doing what's called a power chord. A power chord just requires you to hit 2 notes, 2 frets. So you take your pointer finger and put it on the first fret of the E string, the low string, and then you take your pinky or your ring finger and place him on the 4th fret of the A string. And then you just hit these 2 strings, none of the others. So that's a cheater way to do it. And that works. It's not as beautiful as the bar chord. Here's the bar chord. Here's the power chord. If you're new to guitar, take the shortcuts. Work into bar chords, but if you put Dad's song, like I'll only play that if I can play the bar chord, it's gonna take, you have to play guitar for a couple of years. Bar chords are pretty tough. I hid from them for a long time. So don't fuck with that shit, just do the power chord. So here's how it goes. I'll play the bar chord because I'm cool like that, but it's totally fine to play the power chord. So we're gonna start from the boom, okay? 3, 2, 1, boom. Bar chord, boom. So all he's doing is the E minor with the boom, boom. then this F sharp bar chord, and then back down to E minor. Okay, not too difficult. Here it is with the power chord, E minor, power chord. Sounds the same, right? See what I'm saying? He does add those high notes in, but again, it's up to you if you want to put that in or not. I always found those to be a little, he liked that kind of mean gritty, but I always found them to be a little like, ooh, little sharp. But he liked it like that, so that's how I play it. So those two. Now we move into these fast chord changes. Here comes the fast chord changes. Okay, so what we're doing there is we go from this bar chord back down to the E minor. And now the fast chord changes. We start with a G. A G is 3rd fret of the middle finger. So 3rd fret, middle finger, G. 1st fret, pointer finger on A. It's a wonder why you'd take a lesson from a guy who's this fucking dyslexic, but whatever. So these two, G is fret 3 of the E, fret 2 of the A. So basically it's fret 3 and fret 2, and then you take your pinky finger or your ring finger, whichever one you like. I like the pinky. And you place that on fret number 3. Difficult to see on camera, but you place that on fret number 3 of the highest string. Okay, so you go G, kind of a difficult one, and then he bounces over to D. D's easier. D is just, you hit almost all the strings, except you do not hit the highest or the heaviest string, the E string. Don't hit that one, it does not fit into this chord. So you just do the A string on down. And then on the G string, giggity, take your 1st finger and place it on the 2nd fret. And on the B string, bravo string, take your, you can use your middle, you can use your pinky, you can use your ring. I like to use my ring finger. Take your ring finger and place it on the 3rd fret. And then again, make sure that your fingers are not preventing the high E from ringing out. Here's how it will sound if your fingers are touching it. Now it's open. Now your fingers are touching it. Now it's open. Okay, so make sure that it can ring out. Hit all the strings except the top one. Right, so from the top, those fast chord changes is just the G and then the D. Now what Dad would do is he would just kind of keep strumming between them. But what I like to do, because I play heavy metal, is I do 2 little palm mutes in between there. So I go G, and then as I'm transitioning from the G to the D, I just hit the lowest string, the E string. I just put my palm on the string to mute it and just strike it twice. So it'll go like this. That's just a heavy metal thing. You don't have to do that. It's just, I like that. Dad didn't do that. He would just hit the strings open. So we go. So that's the fast chord changes. You repeat that. Let's take the whole thing with the, starting from the boom till the end of the fast chord changes. We'll do that right now. 3, 2, 1, boom. Bar chord. Boom. G, C. So that's how you do that one. He plays that and then he changes the chord change. Instead of a G to a D, he does a C to a G, right? So I'll take it from the top. Here's how I remember it. I'm not looking at his YouTube video, so could be slightly off, but this is how I remember it. Starting from the boom, 3, 2, 1, boom. Bar chord, G, D, boom. Bar chord, boom. G, D, boom. Bar chord, boom. C, G, boom. Bar chord, boom, and hold it at the E. Okay, so that's how that goes. If you're wondering how to play a C, because we haven't covered that yet, I'm about to show you. So a C, you will take your ring finger and place it on the 3rd fret of the A string. You'll take your middle finger, place it on the 2nd fret of the D string. The G string is played open. And then you'll take your pointer finger and place it on the first fret of the B string. And then the E at the very end can also be played. And you do not play the heaviest string with this C chord. So the heaviest, the low E, you don't play that one. Here's the C chord. And then here's the notes of the C chord individually. And these should all ring out. If you miss like the high E, like that, it's fine. Here's without the high E. Here's with the high E. It's a little better to catch it, but if you don't, it's still fine. So you go C to G. Okay? So that he had to throw a little curveball in there. So that's in there. After you do those and you sing your part, then you just hang out on the E for a little bit, because he's going to go into the chorus. So this goes back to C, and this is the section where he goes, one life shot down for no reason, right? C, 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 whoops, C, 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 D, 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 E, E. C, 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 D, 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 E, right? So that's how that goes. C, D, E. There is one little thing that I like to do when we do the one life shot down for no reason. This is my little addition. Again, I don't think Dad played it like this. But I'll do the C, 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 D, D, D. And then when I go to do this E minor, I will actually play the two strings open. I will play the A string and the D string open. And that gives me the, for no reason. That's what I like to do with that part. I don't think Dad did it like that. So we'll go one, oh boy. One life shot down for no reason. Right? One life shut down in a selfish way. So I just like to do it like that. Dad didn't really do it like that, but it's I like it. I just think it's cool. It's really, the hard part is the chord changes. Once you get that, it's not too difficult. How to learn to do chords relatively quickly. When you put your hands on for a chord, play each note and make sure that they all ring out. If you find one that's messed up, oh, that was messed up. Move your fingers around until you find how to fix it. And once you have that, just kind of hold it there and hit your notes and say, okay, that's good. Then remove your hand from the fretboard and like tap it on your knee, something like that. And then try to come back to that chord shape, exactly how it felt, and play each note. And why do we tap our knee or the ground or something in between? It's so that if you're moving around the fretboard and you have to jump quickly to a chord, your hands will just go right to there. So we simulate that by just tapping our knee. Right? That's just a way to learn the chord changes fast. So that's the whole section that you just repeat 3 times over. That's it. So I'll play the whole thing and I'll sing it if I can remember the lyrics, and that'll hopefully jog your memory and get you together on how to glue it all together. But it's just basically these double stops. And then from that on out, it's pretty much chords. It's this chord, which is the triad of the top 3, then the E minor. Then there is our F sharp bar chord, which can be played easily as just a power chord, so 4 and 2. And then we have a G, very common chord in guitar. And then a D, also extremely common. And then he spices it up every now and again with a C. So those are your chords. That's all you really need to know for the song. So here we go. I'll play from the top. Here comes a boom. G, D. You know John Lennon, he loved people. You know he wanted peace for everyone. Then the gunmen came to kill him. The gunmen came to shoot John down. One life shot down for no reason. One life cut down in a selfish way. One life shot down for no reason. Oh John, we miss you today. And here comes a repeat. E minor. Here comes a boom. Bar chord. Boom. G. God said, let's give peace a chance. He said, let's stop this endless war. With the peace, just imagine a world where the gunman is no more. One life shot down for no reason. One life cut down in a selfish way. One life shot down for no reason. Oh John, we miss you today. Just repeating. Third one. Last one. Comes a boom. G, D. Oh, shit. John gave us songs to fill our nighttime. He gave us songs to fill our day. We had nearly forgotten. A thief came and stole John away. One life shot down for no reason. One life cut down in a selfish way. One life shot down for no reason. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you today. Oh John, we miss you. C C C D D C C C D D D E E E E E E E. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you. Oh, I fucked it up. Oh John, we miss you today. So that's how Dad sort of did it. The very end that he would do, he hits the, this is just on his YouTube video. He told me that he never could figure out how to end it. So there's the ending on his YouTube video, but we watched it once and he was like, I just had to do something. So here's what he does. It's the E minor. Takes his pinky and places it on the 3rd fret of the B string. He sounds kind of, you know, rowdy. And then he takes his pointer finger and places it on the 1st fret of the B string. And then he removes it and just goes back to E minor. For me, what I like to do is on the 3rd, Oh John, we miss you, where you go the, Oh John, we miss you. I like to just slow it down. If I can get to my volume knob, turn the volume down on my guitar a little bit to soften it, slow the tempo and just slowly drift out. So I'll do the 2 regular "Oh John We Miss Yous," and then I'll do my ending, which is a little different, but yeah, I just figured I'd throw my own little thing in there, just something I like. Here we go. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you today. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you today. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you. Oh John, we miss you today. I don't know how that is going to sound on the little lapel mic I got going on here. Well, like that matters. I can't sing anyway. I hope this was fun. If you have any questions or if I didn't cover anything well, let me know, and I will try to I'll try to cover it again or something. But it's a fun song to learn. It's got a lot of little techniques that are used in rock guitar. The little double stops are great. Everybody loves a double stop. They're all over they're in guitar solos everywhere. A lot of cool chord changes. I mean, you've got G, you got C, you got D. That's going to cover a lot of songs out there anyway. A lot of just regular old songs out there. And then this bar chord's pretty cool. Again, we don't have to play it as a bar. You can just play it as a power chord. That's what I would do, especially if you're playing this on acoustic. If you're trying to play this on acoustic, you might want to use 2 fingers when you're doing your double stops, instead of trying to do these bars. It's really hard. It takes a lot of hand strength on an acoustic. But yeah, it's a fun song, and I hope this was fun for you guys. See you next time.